but it's like a hosting cost. I don't know how would you host a website without somebody hosting it, I guess. But they guarantee that like traffic will never have to have any problems or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Latency time and all that junk.
Okay.
I don't know, let's not talk about it. 170 for
For
3 years.
for 370.
3 years.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
And they added some like extra bonus shit on there. So, like after all the taxes, it ended up being like 190 after all the taxes.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
still think it's all right
Yeah.
because
3 years at a time. That's
like for
pretty good.
3 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think it's too bad. Yeah. After that though, it goes up. Like this is the introductory rate. So after 3 years, I have to like before it auto renews,
Uh-huh.
I have to bring it because they have three packages. And then the middle package is basically a bullshit package.
Uh-huh.
So you don't even get that fucking bullshit package.
Uh-huh.
So then the bottom tier one,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't really offer very much in the way of like supporting you. So to me, like you could just use their tools to like figure that shit out and then figure out what you need and what you don't need. And then when it comes time to renew, just bring it down to the lowest end package. That way you're not paying like extra money.
Oh, okay.
But you don't ever have to worry about cybersecurity. They back up your website. All that shit happens, so it's all good.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Yeah.
have to add is, sorry.
I was about to say I wouldn't run a server on my side either. I'd definitely get someone else
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Plus, if I ever open any sort of shop, like if I want to sell something,
Uh-huh.
like I don't know, I don't even know what I would sell, but like let's say I want to handle purchasing of like tutoring time and stuff like that digitally. Like let's say I want to have instead of them pay me money like the old-fashioned way,
Uh-huh.
if I want to have them like actually just pay me money online, then I can add a special SSL certificate that would back it up to like $10,000 US.
Uh-huh.
Right now, right now I have free SSL,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't really back up anything monetarily. So it just says, oh, our user data is encrypted and everything like that's encrypted, but there's no like guarantee with that money wise. So, and that would be like $40 a year, I guess, if you wanted to do it that way. But I don't have any like shop on there, so I don't see the point. So I stuck the free one.
Hmm.
But I guess if then it's worth it because people could do. Like I was thinking, like, yeah, if I do translation services, then I could just give them a quote and bill them separately. Like, no reason for them to have to pay on the website. I
Right.
could just give them like the information, and then if they're interested, I'll send them like a business like invoice, like a proper invoice, and like have them like in Japan, people still do wire transfers to bank accounts. So I'll just send them the information and have them do a wire transfer, and like that'd be easier.
Yeah.
And then once the money's there, it's done. And then as for tutoring and stuff like that, I think people could just buy like a package, and then like they don't have to hand me any money. They could use their credit card and stuff like that.
Uh.
But I don't know right now if that's easier.
Uh.
It might just be easier to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Probably in Japan, they're probably more comfortable with that anyway.
Well, one thing is I love cash. Why do I love cash? You don't have to declare it. You don't have to declare shit.
Yeah.
Unless they got cameras taking pictures and stuff, I ain't declaring it.
Yeah.
Like I'll declare a little bit, but I ain't fucking declaring a lot of it. So
Yeah.
that money will never touch a bank account. In one hand, into the pocket. And then that's it'll leave the pocket. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to touch a bank account.
All right.
But for big stuff you have to. But because Aya's family is all the Buddhist stuff, and we've been translating like Buddhist stuff for her family's Instagram.
Uh huh.
And like it's tough to translate that shit. It's really tough to translate because you have to really know what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
then not only are you like translating, but like if you type that into Google, Google spits out some weird ass shit. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to really like know what you're kind of talking about. So like I talked to Aya, I has talked to her brother, and then like they get back to me, and I'm like, okay, this is how we should say it in English.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like a lot of temples, they don't have that ability. So if we could market it and say like, hey, look, this is something we can do. not to like get rich off of it or anything like that, but like just legit provide a service.
Provide a service.
Not that kind of service. Well, I mean, if the money's okay, but 5 gold is 5 gold, Francis. Yeah, so I'm thinking about monies. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. So that's why I decided to do it, and I designed a business card so I can just put my like fucking website on the business card and give people
Yeah.
like professional. Like professional. Not professional though. So it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, yesterday because of the rain, I was 15 minutes late to work, which fair enough. Is 15 minutes is like a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
So supervisor says to me, "Hey, like, you can't be late." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, I know. 15 minutes is 15 minutes. You want me to use an hour personal time? Like, I'll do it." She's like, "No, it's okay for today. Just don't be late."
Nice.
So today, I'm like, "All right." So today, I get in. My start time is 8:30.
Uh-huh.
So I'm at my desk at 8:35. Right? I walk in the door and I'm at my desk 8:35. Right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like basically at the gate of the school at 8:32. So like no big deal.
Uh-huh.
So I get there and I'm like, "Oh, good morning." Very happy people.
Uh-huh.
Vice principal, who's supposed to be a bro, comes up to me and says, "Do you know what time it is?" And I'm like, 8:30. She's like, "It's 8:35." I'm like, "Oh, so fuck a doodle do. I don't know. What do you mean do? 8:35." She's like, "Well, you have to be here at 8:30. Like if our start time's 8:20, and if we're here at 8:21, then we're late." I'm like, "Well, that's too bad." She says, "We have to swipe a card." I'm like, well, can I get one of those cards? And she said, no. I'm like, all right, well, then we're not on the same system, you know? It just pisses me off. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck all you guys. I'm gonna make a website right now. Let me get out of this bitch. And I'm gonna do it on your time.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got a cyber card.
What's weird is like, if I show up, right,
Uh-huh.
8:30, I just sit at my desk, put my computer down, and then I leave for 2 hours. Nobody says anything.
Yeah.
But if I'm 10 minutes late, the world ends.
Yeah.
Like I've been on the phone with you before for 2 hours, back and nobody says shit.
Yeah.
No matter where you been, nothing. I walk back, I'd been on the phone with you for like 2 hours and eat my lunch for 30 minutes. I just killed 2.5 hours, 3 hours time. Nobody says shit.
Nice.
So it doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is, you know.
Uh.
But as I see it right now, my take-home money right now is like after taxes and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
So on paper, I make $3,000 a month, but the glorious government of Japan takes around 700 of that. So I walk away with around $2,300 to $2,200 per month. And then I have to pay my rents and credit card and all that junk. So after rent is 700 a month. Utilities and stuff like that ends up being just over $100 plus maybe some 200. So you think basically $1,000 is rent and utilities.
Uh-huh.
So then take home money is around $1,200, maybe $1,100.
Uh-huh. You still there?
So then there's 2 bonuses per year. The bonuses are worth around $3,000.
You cut
So
out.
if I can make
You cut out for like 20 seconds.
CIA,
Yeah, I heard like popping.
1 second, this guy. It's gunfire, Francis. I'm in a war zone. It's gunfire.
It sounded like a can,
Uh,
like someone opened up a can. Clack, clack.
Like flak, yeah. Anti-aircraft, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also what's happening. Now, some guy, old guy, he's smoking a cigarette and drinking probably some alcohol outside of the school.
Nice.
He's right outside the fucking school. He's drinking and smoking cigarettes. Nobody gives a fuck.
Nice.
That's illegal, apparently. Completely fucking legal.
Nice.
Makes no sense to me. Sometimes legality here is really strange. Like some things are illegal, which don't make any sense to me to be legal,
Mm,
and some things are illegal, which make no sense either.
mm.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess the Steam sale's over, man. I was so sad I didn't buy anything. I put it in my cart, and I'm like, do I need it? And ultimately, I made an adult decision not to buy it.
Oh, they didn't buy the like $1,000 Paradox game shit that you had in there.
How did you know? How did you know that was in there? How did you know? Everyone knows me too well. This is terrible, man. I don't know. Like, so frustrating. Yeah, it's really frustrating, man. Yeah, I know. I had Imperator Rome, Hearts of Iron 4. I had everything in there, dude. It was like good deals. I was thinking, man, I could buy all these games and play, but then I realized, man, it's gonna take me $100 just to learn how to play the game. Like, I don't want to do that right now. And I'm trying to think I'm thinking like the HBO Rome series. Like, I'm thinking like everything. I'm like, man, let me get motivated. I'm like, I have zero motivation to play this game. So, yeah, so I decided not to get it.
Let's see. I didn't get anything either. I thought about getting some of them, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, they
Nothing.
sneak up on you.
Yeah. The only I did. I still bought like a long time ago New World, so I'll play that when it comes out.
No, that's good.
I bought that like a while ago.
Well, they had the expansion of Final Fantasy 14 on there for sale too, and I thought about it, but like, I don't have time, and my computer would be taking a big shit anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and the new expansion is coming out in like half a year or something like that. Anyway.
well, my laptop doesn't even run Killing Floor. Like I was looking to buy Killing Floor 2. My laptop won't even fucking run that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's like.
it's a 2016 game, but it runs Left 4 Dead 2. Like I don't see why it wouldn't be able to run Killing Floor 2.
Left 4 Dead 2 was like a million years ago, though, wasn't
Yeah, it wasn't many years ago.
it? That was like high school.
Yeah, Source Engine, dude, the original fucking Source Engine. So I think like yeah, should be pretty easy. But yeah, Killing Floor 2 is like, I think all the gore and stuff probably is why, like a lot of blood and stuff is probably really hard for it to pick up.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know. I read the minimum specs and my computer is like not gonna like that. But I'm playing City Skylines getting like, 20 some frames per second, 25, 26 frames per second. So,
Yeah.
and I have everything off, like anti-aliasing off, anti-strappic, whatever fucking filtering off, like all the textures low. everything, it's basically looks like actual Google Maps. It looks like fucking Google Earth. If you zoom into Google Earth in the 3D mode, fucking looks like that.
Nice.
But I still play it. It's a good game. But yeah, Crusader Kings 3. I just wish I could get behind it right now. It's too early to get behind. Just the problem with the game is they don't have the content. 8 years of content, or whatever is 10 years of content now for CK2, and there's nothing for CK3. So like no diseases, no like crazy religion stuff. So but it is what it is,
Yeah.
I did get Victoria too, but that was a while back, so I'm gonna try to play that game. Victoria 2 has the same engine as Crusader King, so engine-wise they're the same, so it shouldn't be too hard to learn.
Nice.
And that takes place in Victorian England time, so pretty cool.
Yeah, they got cool dresses.
Peop- Yeah, bad teeth, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Good times, the good old days. The good old days. Yeah, it's pretty wild though. Think about like that show Kimetsu no Yaiba took place in Taisho, Japan, which is early 1900s Japan, right?
Uh-huh.
And they have some like apps here you can download for your phone, and you could look at them on the internet too. But they show like overlays of early 20th century Japan, so like Taisho period Japan, and you can see where shit actually was.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty crazy how kind of actually backwards Japan was at that point. Like they really weren't that developed yet. So, because they had been under the what's it called, Sakoku, or the country in chains,
Uh-huh.
until the end of the Edo period, and they did the Meiji Restoration. So, until that point, Japan was still like basically 200 years in the past. They didn't modernize at all.
Mm.
And then they had this rapid expansion, but at that point, it was still early.
Mm.
So they had trains and they had some more nicer cities, but in the countryside, it was still basically like 400 years before then.
Oh, wow.
So they had this really huge dichotomy, which I feel like still exists today. You have like this really backwards kind of stuff, and then you have stuff that's like well in the future, but you have almost nothing that's modern. Like
It's like the
I was
inverted
joking with it.
future or something like
I don't know. I feel like Japan would be the type of society they would send emails, but like via fax.
that.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
Like they take some advanced technology and then they just somehow also pair it with something that's really old.
mm.
It's just a reluctancy to change due to custom and then old people, and then also with young people who are just like fighting for the future. I think you have that kind of mix.
Mm.
But that was like their city planning. I'll send you a video. I've been watching this like YouTube channel called Beautiful City, and the guy talks about city planning.
Uh-huh.
He said like one of the problems with Tokyo, like why is Tokyo the way it is, and it's because a bunch of factors that mix together. But one of the big things was like actually they didn't really have strict zoning codes at all. So
Ah.
and even when they introduced zoning, like only 4 zoning codes, something like the 8 zoning codes, in comparison to like other cities that have like 16 or even more.
Ah.
So that's why even here, like sometimes you walk around, you see even where I'm at, you'll see like a factory type place next to a house that they just don't have the kind of they didn't have the concept to have different things at different places. So I
Interesting.
think that's why it is interesting. I think it's really interesting, super interesting. But likewise, that's probably why all their roads are all windy and stuff like that because they had old trails and old like kind of things before.
Yeah, it's building on top of stuff.
Yeah. And also Japan has like one tile houses, I call them. Like if you play CK or not CK, I'm sorry, if you play City Skylines,
Uh-huh.
like there are like these one tile
Uh-huh.
homes. Japan has tons of those.
Oh,
Just fits in like one little tile.
yeah. Oh, that's what you mean by one tile. I get you.
Yeah. Because when you're like clicking areas, you can, like how much do you want to
Yeah.
zone? You can zone. So you can just zone one tile and like a house will build there. And they have tons of those just like one tile houses.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. But you know what it is? You can't blame it. Can't blame them for it. They're just doing their thing. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, how about the laptop, man? I'm gonna stop by a computer store today, check out some laptops, and see if I can find
Uh,
anything interesting.
I'm still waiting for it to get back on sale or unsold out,
In
whatever it's
stock,
called. In
in
stock.
stock,
That's what it's
right?
called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still waiting
English
for it
term.
to get in stock.
In
my
stock,
my
in
first language
stocking.
is alien, so.
Alien. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that completely. But I understood what you meant.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. So I wait for it to get in stock. So.
Get back. Just went out to the store for a bit. It'll be back. Yeah, I'm in the same boat because I like it. I guess the only negatives about the computer that I've seen so far
Uh-huh.
is that the refresh rate of the monitor or the refresh rate of the screen, some people say is not so good.
Like
But
what? It's
like
like
12 mils,
100,
like a 12 millisecond.
12 milliseconds.
But I don't know. They said you could see some ghosting, but like all the people they didn't say, they said like, oh, with 12 milliseconds, you're going to see ghosting. But then all the YouTube people that I watched the review for, they're saying, but I didn't notice anything. Like, okay, well then it's probably not a problem.
Yeah. What? Wait, what is it? It does 12 milliseconds. That's less than 60, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you have like a high refresh rate and some modern games, you can still see some ghosting, I guess. But I don't know. Like TN displays and stuff like that have like a 1 millisecond or even 2 millisecond refresh rate. And like old IPS displays used to have terrible refresh rates, but even then, I never really noticed any ghosting, and I had IPS displays that had like 20 millisecond response time. So I don't think it's a problem.
Are they saying that it consistently does 12, or like it happens?
No, that's just the refresh rate of the monitor. That's
Uh,
12 millisecond refresh rate. I mean, it has the like, 140 hertz or whatever, which is cool, but yeah, I don't know the
yeah, that's
difference,
what
I
I'm
guess,
saying.
between.
That's what I'm saying. That those two statements can't be true at once.
I don't know enough about it then, man. I'll have to look into it.
Maybe they
I
mean
just know I watched the YouTube.
12 milliseconds is less than 60 frames per second.
Right.
And this says it's 144 hertz. So that's 2 frames a second. Or a little bit more than 2 frames a second. So that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
Maybe they
yeah, I don't
mean
know.
it like drops frames for some games, is what they're saying. Maybe.
I don't know. Is there a way that it could have a different, like the monitor's response time and the refresh rate of the monitor are separate? Is that possible? Like, is it? I don't know. I'm literally asking. I don't know enough information out
The
about it,
only
but
thing
is it?
is the graphics card doesn't put out the signal like there's like a game and it starts slowing down. Is the only thing that would drop like, and then you lose frames that way because it's catching up with the game. So like a lot of stuff happens and it slows down to 60 frames per second or 40 frames per second, whatever it is. For when whatever the explosion's going on or something. But if it says it's 144 hertz, that means that's when it's every tick it's going 144 hertz. It's not going to stop. The only thing that could happen is it stays the same image. Like I don't see if it's a hertz is a frequency. It's not a. It's like saying something's red's gonna be blue. I, let's see. Can I don't think so. Yeah. Can yeah, I don't see. Yeah, it looks like there's like some for Windows that you could put a setting for a dynamic refresh rate, but I'm pretty sure if your monitor's 144, it's ticking 144 frames. So I don't know what that means. I think they mean like something's dropping frames, but I'm guessing. Unless there's something I don't know about. Are you still there? Maybe not. Okay. thanks for watching.